Hey everybody, it is Dana from ChicFlicks Video Marketing with another episode of Girl Crush. And today I am talking with Christina Rowsell from Soft Rock 97.7 here in Calgary, as well as ChristinaRowsell.com. And we are going to head into our questions for today. Christina, when was the moment you knew you found what you were supposed to do?
It's funny in radio, I always say radio chose me. I've been in this industry for 25 years, believe it or not. I started when I was 10. That's not true. So the funny thing is that I was working at this bottle depot. Seriously. I was there, I was a kid, I was in high school, and you sort the different bottles from aluminum to can to green glass, brown glass, all those kinds of things. And while I was there, just working away, I was listening to the radio, and this gal, she told a story on the radio. I don't remember what the story was, but I remember thinking, I could do that. I could do that, because what she did for me was make a connection to me. And I felt like it was just a wonderful opportunity just to be a storyteller and just to hang out with people. And so when I was in my high school year, in my grade 12 year, and you have to do a practicum, I said, I want to go to a radio station. And I did. And like shortly after, I got a job doing evenings and weekends straight out of high school. I ended up taking broadcasting at BCIT, and I got my diploma. Mm-hmm. But really, radio has been something that just kind of fell into my lap. And every job that I've ever had in this business, I've never applied for.
That's amazing.
They all came to me. Even my first job when I moved to Calgary, I was a traffic reporter for QR77. And it came across from the dean of the school, and he said, you need to apply for this job. I said, I have never been to Calgary, and I'm not flying in a helicopter. You're not making me fly. They're like, oh, it's not a helicopter, it's a Cessna. I'm like, okay. And I said, I've never been to Calgary. He says, just apply for this job. I'm going to let them know that you're going to apply for the job. So I did, because he told me to. And then I got the job, and I was like, okay. So I moved to Calgary in 1995, March 1995. It was like minus 42. It was like the stupidest thing ever. And they told me I had 2 weeks to learn the city. And it actually was 2 days, because then something happened to the traffic reporter, which was Noel Wallace at the time, which I remember. I think he used the name Captain Cody, I think. Anyways, after 2 days, I being in Calgary, I was on the air and reporting traffic. I did not know the city.
Okay, hold on. How did you even make that work?
So the pilots would tell me what to say, because the pilots, they were all student pilots, and they're like, okay, this is Crowchild Trail, that's Shaganappy Trail. I'm like, I don't even know how to say things. Anyways, you know what? They really helped me along the way. And from there, after I left traffic, I ended up doing the morning show on Power 107, which is really my start to being a radio host.
Right. Yeah, it's an
interesting. It just fell into my lap, really, is what happened. And what I learned is that the power of story and connecting with people one-on-one really was my forte. I found a niche for myself. Like, it was something that I was really good at. And so I've always just had jobs.
That's amazing. You know what I find really interesting is that you did your practicum in radio, because I did a practicum in radio too.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I don't know if you knew that, but I did. I worked for CKO in Toronto. Okay. It was all news.
Yeah.
And I started as the wire girl.
Okay.
So this is probably dating me, and I don't know, you'll remember this, but the news used to come into the newsroom at the radio station on a
scroll, and you rip and you read.
Telex machine, right? Like, right? And the story would stop, and my job was to rip it off and look for what was important and mark it up and hand it to the writers so that they could write the script to hand it to the newsreaders.
Right. And that, it would just come on the wire, and you had to read that. I remember doing that as well. It was funny too, in my first job at KBS and Trail, I mean, this is dating myself. I used to operate for the International House of Music, Bob Hall, and it came on a reel-to-reel.
Oh, wow.
So that's how
Yeah, I know. We're the same age. I get it. I
But
remember.
it's funny because technology has changed so quickly in this industry. Like it went for the longest time, 45s, reel to reel, 8 tracks, right? And you had the wall of 8 tracks. And then all of a sudden it went digital like that.
Yeah.
And all like everything I learned in school I didn't know how to do any of this. You just had to learn on the fly. And so you learn so quickly in this industry, which was kind of fun at the same time. I mean, I remember things were hopping before everything was digital. Things were hopping because over here I had to queue up the 45,
Yep.
right? You do the quarter turn back, you're at the back wall, you're getting your cart of commercials, you're stacking them on the counter, and then you're also splicing the reel to reel to get things set up. Like it was just nonstop hands on. And
Yeah.
now you sit and you push play.
Yeah, exactly.
But I think the difference is today, what keeps you busy is social media. I mean, my entire day is responding to text messages and, posting on social media, responding to all of that. We still take phone calls. We still record things digitally, right? I record it on a Vox Pro when I have phone calls and all those things. You're still splicing, but it's digitally.
Right. That's fantastic.
Move fast. It's move fast. I love the best part about what I get to do is I get to connect with people. And for me, the moment that it changed the way that I do my show was I was driving home from BC. I'm from Castlegar, and I was taking Highway 22, which is Cowboy Trail, coming up from the Crow's Nest Pass. And it was pouring rain. It was in the middle of the summer. And I was terrified because I couldn't even see. I just remember the rain coming down so hard. I couldn't see on the roads. I was white knuckle driving, and I was listening to the radio. And I said to the person on the radio, I said, "It's you and me. You're here to keep me company."
Yeah.
And that's when I went, wait a minute. That's how I'm going to do my show. I'm going to talk to that one person so that they feel like that I'm hanging out with them.
Yep.
That's when it all changed for me.
That's amazing. Yeah. I love hearing voices. Like that sounds so
There's a lot of voices going on in my head. We all know that about you, Dana.
You know what I mean. I'm a fan. I was a big talk radio fan for a long time.
Right.
So it keeps you company, right? Totally.
It does keep you company, and it's that connection. And then if that person on the radio just evokes some emotion in you, it makes you want to respond. And it's so much easier to respond today. Before, you had to call the radio station, you get a busy signal. Today, you can send a text message, it's going through.
Exactly.
It's very different.
So what is a topic that you wish people asked you about? Because the context around this is, when I meet people and they find out what I do for a living, all they ever want to talk about is video.
Right.
What is something that you wish people asked you more about?
I understand that 100%, because when people meet me, it's all about me and radio. And all they want to talk about is radio. They want to talk about, which is fine. And I don't mind that at all, because I know that it's an exciting industry, right? What we do is very different. It's very unique. Honestly, I just wish we would talk more about that other person. I love to learn about what people do. I love to learn what their hobbies are. I want to know more about them. So honestly, I don't know that it's a question I want people to ask me about, because I am very private. I mean, I've got, my family, and there's things that I like to do on my own. Yeah, I do for some photography. Like, there's fun things, but I don't care to talk about that with other people. Mm-hmm. What I really want to know is, can you hear my dog scratching?
I do, yep.
Can you see him?
Hi, cutie.
Like, who that? That's my senior dog. I honestly, when I ask people how they are, I really want to know. I really do care. I want to know more about somebody else. So I don't know that it's more of a, don't ask me about my life, because I get to talk all day long. And it's always, and when you listen to my show's about life. Everything I talk about is very genuine. So I get tired of talking about me. I want to talk about somebody else. I want to know about you. I want to know about your projects. I want to know about your book. I want to know about the inspiration. Like, I want to find out more about you.
Yeah. You want to listen for a while.
Oh God. So much so.
What is,
you know what? That's funny. I'm going to go back on that for a second.
Okay.
Because I was diagnosed technically with talking too much. My husband loves that because I have chronic throat issues. And because when you use your throat so much and you're talking and you're not breathing properly and how much we talk, right? I always get throat issues and my throat's always sore and I get lumps in my throat, like literal lumps. And they're like, well, you talk too much.
Oh my word. Wow. Yeah, I'm sure he does make fun of that.
Uh-huh.
So, what do you wish you did better in your business life?
I don't remember, because I know you gave me these questions earlier. I don't
Yeah.
remember how I answered that. What do I wish I did better in my business life? I think I'm going to take it back to when I ran a business. Like I left radio for 3 years. I think what I would have wished that I had done better was plan better. I mean, I started my own company. I did that for 3 years, but I hardly made any money. So I think I would have planned it out a little bit better and just been a better planner.
And what do you wish you did better in your personal life?
I wish I was more calm. I'm so wound up all the time. Like I wish I could just take Zen and like meditate. I love meditating, but I don't ever do it because my brain doesn't shut off. So I wish that I could be calmer because I'm always wound up. I've always got something to do. I'm thinking. I'm this person. I'm a go kind of girl.
Wow. Do you sleep well at night?
I don't.
No.
Unless I do meditation,
Right.
because I really have to turn everything off. It's funny because I don't listen to the radio when I leave work. I listen to music and you know what my favorite thing to do is listen to the Spa Channel on satellite radio.
Yeah, it's so calming.
Give me water, give me birds. I'm a happy camper.
Yeah.
Because I'm too critical of radio, I think. But if I can just take myself down, because you're so on the go, right? Like what this is like. I perform for 4 hours straight a day.
Yes.
And you're on, you're up, you're go, right? It's nice to just turn off. I wish I could turn off better.
Yep, I hear you. I wish I could too.
Yeah.
What was the last great book you read?
The last great book that I read, I'm not quite finished yet, but it was from Andrea Davis, and it's called Survival Was Just the Beginning, and it was her story of being on the coast of Concordia.
Right, I saw that.
It is such a good book. It is such a good book. She had just had hip replacement and surgery. Was it hip replacement or knee replacement? Forgive me. I can't remember what it was. But she had to swim. She didn't get a lifeboat. She had to swim with her husband to shore. And then she had to walk on the coral on the shore. Like, this is crazy. The craziest part about this whole story is that she still goes on cruise ships.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if I could.
Don't put me on a boat ever.
No.
Ever. I like land. I'm not going on a boat. Don't put me back in a helicopter. I want to stay right here. This is good.
Yeah. All right, I'm adding that book to my list of to reads, which right now I actually physically have I think I have 7 or 8 books on a pile right now.
When do you find time to read? That's my problem. This is why we need audiobooks.
You know what? No joke, right? And I'm up because I'm up at 5 o'clock every morning writing. When the weekend comes, I'm generally up, like I'll sleep until 6. And the rest of my family sleeps till 9, or unless they're going skiing, then they're up early and they're gone. So Saturday morning and Sunday morning, that's my sanctuary time to read. And sometimes I'll read in the evening, but if it's a good book, I'll get through it in a week.
That's the thing. If it's a good book, you can get through it super fast. I am dyslexic. And it takes me extra long, which drives me crazy because my brain works way faster than this part of my brain does. And so, but if I don't slow down when I'm reading, I won't comprehend it.
Yep. There's another case for audiobooks, right?
See?
Yeah.
Because we were talking about this earlier. That's my goal, to do audio.
What is something everyone loves that you think's overrated?
I know I answered this and it was a good, I remember this question. It's TV shows. Honestly, I don't have time to watch television. When I do, I try to watch what I can watch, but The Walking Dead.
Okay. I loved The Walking Dead for 6 years.
Game of Thrones.
Oh, have you seen Game of Thrones?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, it's good.
Yeah.
It's a good show, but it's not my thing. It's not my genre. It's the acting is great. And it's
Yeah.
a great show, but I have no interest. Honestly, please don't make me watch it.
I will. Okay, I won't. I don't know that if we can really be friends anymore.
It's not
No,
that it's not that
I,
I hate them, but honestly, I don't have time, and it's not my genre. I wouldn't read a book like that,
right.
right?
Yeah.
Give me a book on somebody's real life,
Yep.
right? Like
Yep.
um, Julie Andrews, love her. I'd like to learn more about her.
Right. Okay.
Mary
I accept
Poppins.
it. I accept it.
So I think it's a little overrated that the whole world should be watching, but I'm probably in the 2% of
Yeah.
people that are not watching.
Maybe. I came to the Game of Thrones thing really late. Like it was already season 7 was already long over
Right.
when I
Well,
thought,
my
all
husband's
right,
tried to
fine.
make me watch it. He's like, you should watch this. I'm like, okay.
Yeah. Right? It's not your thing. That's
No.
all. Uh Final question. Tell me something that nobody else knows about you.
Again, that's hard because I'm on the radio and my life is on the radio. So I talk about a lot of things. People know that I do photography. I like to paint.
Oh,
Um,
really?
yeah, I
I
love
didn't-
painting.
Okay.
Um, I love graphic design. Like I could sit and work on my InDesign for hours. I love making for my kids' hockey teams. I'm doing magazine covers for them. Just so the end of the year, every kid is going to have a picture of themselves playing the sport, and then they're going to get themselves on the cover of a magazine. Um, I could sit and do graphic design all day. I'm not very good at it, but I
But
have
you
fun.
like it.
I like it. You know what? It has a lot to do with painting too, right? It's all that visual part of me that doesn't get out as much because I'm an audio person, right? Because I do
Right.
radio. So I'm extremely creative. I am a little Martha Stewart, except for don't make me bake anything. I can't do that. But arts and crafts, and oh, I can't sew. I cannot sew.
No, me neither.
Oh, I'm terrible at that. But I think in my former life, I might have been a kindergarten teacher.
Really?
Yeah.
Why do you think that?
Just because you should see the craft room that I did for my kids when they were little and the projects that I made them do. And I have boxes of googly eyes. I have boxes of pipe cleaners. I mean, just fun little crafts. So popsicle sticks, I got a gazillion of them. I should probably sell them,
Yeah,
but
that's
I love
amazing.
arts and crafts and little fun things. The best thing I ever made, and she will kill me for telling everybody this. So I had a roommate, Natasha Rapchuk. She used to be the news director at QR77 100 years ago. And she was my roommate. And I went through a breakup and it was really hard on me. And so my Zen, I went out and I bought a bunch of river rocks. I didn't actually go pick up the river rocks from the river, but I bought a bag of them. And then I got a bunch of big mason jars. And my Zen was I took a glue gun and I glued rocks to that jar.
Wow.
But it makes for a really cool kitchen thing where you can put your utensils in.
Oh, that's a really good idea. Look at
I don't
that. See?
I
Next
don't know if Natasha
conversation,
actually kept those.
we get practical kitchen hacks from Christina Rowsell. Awesome.
Crafts with Christina.
Yeah, there we go. There's your next thing. All right. Thank you very much, Christina, for your time. Friends, you can find Christina at ChristinaRowsell.com and catch her on the radio 97.7. And that is from 10 to 2, Monday through Friday.
I'm
Thanks
there
for
on the
watching.
weekends too.
Oh, you're there on weekends too?
It's called voice tracking, but I am there.
Okay. Same time slot?
No, it's complicated. Saturdays 2 to 6. No, Saturdays 4 to 8. Sundays 2 to 6.
All right. There you go.
Sorry.
Thanks for watching, everyone. See you later.